I want to tell you a horror story. To this day, I still think of that one expat that worked here for 3 years, but still haven't yet gotten any raise or either bonuses. Now, welcome back to SoloQuest. Today, we're gonna talk about how to get a raise or either bonuses from your company or either increase your salary in general. Now, welcome back, fellow adventurers. For new viewers out there, my name is SoloQuest. I've been living and working in China for about 6 years so far. And as you can see here, I'm wearing my helmet today to hide my receding hairline. And all of that is because of my cortisol level from all the quests and events I've been through in China. And I don't want the same thing to happen to you. And this is why I make this video, to keep your cortisol level down. Now, I usually make video about how to survive in China and how to survive the ESL industry. From time to time, niche video about places others yet haven't fully covered, and even local people haven't yet covered. Now, if you're interested in those type of video, you can click like, subscribe, or either share. I'll try to reply to you as soon as possible. And if you did click on any of the 3 buttons down below, the algorithmic god can recommend you the best video for you. And also, me and my boys get to survive another day, because these 3 things are the only thing we consume. And that is likes, comment, and subscribe. And we can survive another day out here in China. With that out of the way, I appreciate it, and my boys and I are truly grateful, and we can continue on to the video. Now, the quick answer is more experience means more gold, because the turnover rate for expat out here is quite high. Now, typically the lifespan of a typical expat is about 1 to 2 years. After that, they move to another city, location, or they just go home. So, which means the longer he stays, the better it is. And the only way you can get a raise in your contract is either renegotiation at the end of the contract, or either through your KPI. And it all depends on your action for the company and how valuable you are to the company and how well you negotiate for your next contract, or how well you negotiate on your KPI. But if you'd like to know what the process kind of looks like, you can continue on to the video. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about the common way to increase your salary. And at the end, we're going to talk about some other ways to increase your bonus or perhaps get extra money. Now, first of all, let's talk about the typical contract. Now, a typical contract is about 1 year up to 2 years. It's up to you to decide which one you want. In some rare cases, 6 months. And the main reason why 6 months is because some people start during winter and they want to end at the next summer, which means there's going to be more jobs available for them. But the main point is, the longer your contract is, the more money you're going to get per month and the more bonuses that you're probably going to get. And that's up to you to decide what kind of fate you're probably going to put your hands into. And the last one is a KPI-based contract. The way this works is the same thing as a regular contract, but every 4 to 6 months, you're able to increase your salary just by a bit, or either get some type of bonuses, depending on how much work you put in or how much extra work you put in for the company. And this way, it helps motivate the employee to work harder for the company. And yes, I can read your mind. Can we change the contract midway? It's a bit complicated. Yes, you can, but no, you can't. If both parties agree to change the contract midway, then you can. But if you want to change the contract yourself, like by force or either by an argument, you can't really do that, and you're still abiding to the contract that you signed into. Again, you are an adult, you read the contract, you signed it, you know how to write, so it's up to you to actually read the contract and see whether you agree or not. Now, let's touch up a bit more about renegotiating the contract. Now, let's just say you're doing more work than you're probably thinking, or either you're doing more after school work, or perhaps you're taking over other classes from other teachers, and you think the salary that they give you right now is not really worth the money. Can we renegotiate on the contract that you put in? Yes, you can actually, because the thing is, in your contract, they have a specific number of teaching hours and also office hour you're probably gonna do. If it exceeds that, you can either ask for an overtime pay, or either you can just flat out disagree and renegotiate the contract, because whatever you say in the contract, that is what you're beholden to for your life out here in China. So read it well. Now, at the end, the question is either you want to take the overtime pay or either an increase on your monthly salary. In my honest opinion, increase on your monthly salary is more beneficial than an overtime bonus. Although overtime bonus can be nice, it's more than what you probably get, double or probably 1.5 more. But getting an incremental increase on your monthly salary benefits way more on the long term. Unless if you only want to be in this company for a year, then yeah, definitely take the overtime pay and you can get more money. But if you're thinking about long-term, definitely go for the incremental bonus each month because you can benefit more out of them. And plus, it looks really good on your resume. And in case of another company that offers you a job to ask you how much you can pay per month, you can start off from there. Now, since we're talking about more money, let's talk a bit more about KPI and how it really works. In my opinion, 1 month or a couple of weeks before KPI, do some little bit extra work so that way you can get like a backup testimonial on how much you work for the company, how much you put in for the company. But the way it works is that it's like a typical renegotiation, but instead of going through WeChat, you're gonna be in the conference room with the HR and with your boss, and they're gonna talk about what your behavior is like, or either how much you put in for the company or what your work looks like. And if they think your work is acceptable, or either they think like, wow, you're so worth it, they're gonna put in as much bonus as they can. But that's not really reality, right? They are still working for a company. They do have a quota on how much they can raise per KPI. And the reality is, even though you think you're friends with your boss or either HR, they're gonna try their best to neg the hell out of you. They're gonna put your KPI as low as possible. Now, talking about KPI, I do have a story to tell you, and that is my first year in China as an ESL training center teacher. Now, in my head, my smart little smooth brain think that, hey, if I finish my work early, I get to chill as well, and I get to read some manga out of my phone. And so what I did is that I finished a whole book, not just a small book, but a whole lesson book worth like 40 lesson plans. Now, I finished everything, all the lesson plan, all the PowerPoint in a span of 3 months. And I was just so proud of myself, and I'm thinking like, hey, I can chill. And one time a manager caught me reading the manga out of my phone and thinking like, hey, you didn't even do your work. And I was like, I finished everything. What are you talking about? And you know what she did? She gave me the best gift in the world, and that is more work to do. And so she gave me my neighbor's work because he wasn't catching up well, and also her work as well, which is an extra total of 30 lesson plan. And I was just hella salty the whole day. And at the end, I kind of benefited a bit out of it because I can use it on my KPI. But at the same time, during the span of the 3 months, I never really talked to anybody because at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, why would I even talk to anybody? I'm just gonna finish my work and I get to chill, right? So I'm gonna tell you the most ridiculous thing about my KPI performance. And that is, even though I finished my neighbor's work and also finished a bit of her work and finished all my curriculum, I still got a -5 on my KPI, and that is for not being sociable enough to other people. And the main point I'm trying to make out of this story is that even though the manager likes you, or either the HR loves you, or whatever shenanigans, they will never give you the 100% KPI performance bonus. And well, mine was like around 95%, which is ridiculous in my opinion. I should get 100%. We're at work. Why should we even talk to any other people? And you know what? After that, I became more sociable because the thing is, I don't have any other work to do. The main gist I'm trying to tell you is that KPI, it's kind of a sham. Now, back then, I was such a greenhorn. All I think about is how much salary increase that I can get from doing more work. But there are many other ways to increase or better your life in the workplace. And that doesn't have to be through salary. It can be either from bonuses or perhaps less workload. Now, what I mean by less workload is less office hour. And of course, you can ask for less classes because it is stipulated within your contract. But what we can do is negotiate with the management for you to come later or either go home a bit earlier on your office hour, because these things can be overlooked by the management team if you do the sufficient amount of work. Now, we've already went through all the avenues on how to get an increase on your salary or perhaps on your KPI with some sort of bonuses. But now let's talk about other possible way to increase your salary without any renegotiation or other bonuses from your KPI. And that is first, increasing your teaching hour. Now, in a company, there are many other workers that are struggling with their work. What you can do is probably ask the company whether you can help them out with a couple of classes until he gets the hang of it, and you can get extra money out of it by helping him out. And typically, company would accept it at a 40% rate, because the thing is, they have image to maintain. If the teacher is struggling, that means the lesson is bad, and that way the company loses face and they lose money as well. Now, talking about more workload, you can increase your responsibility, such as making events for the company, doing the training for the company, or perhaps doing some organizing work for the company. This will really help you increase your salary as well, because they need a reason to increase your salary or either give you extra money. And you can make that happen by just doing it. Now, one of the best way to increase that salary in the first place or either get that bonus is to do some training for the company. Let's just say you are good at class management and you can tell your company, hey, I got this PowerPoint for class management. You can pay me 500 and I'll teach the other teacher, and you show proof to the company. And I think they would accept it at a 60% rate. And this is what typically happen in these training centers. But the main point I'm trying to make is that just be creative in the ways you can probably increase your salary. All right, in conclusion, the best way to increase your salary is through your contract or doing some extra work. And when it comes to contract, there is the half year, 1 year, or bi-yearly contract. And the second one is your KPI-based contract, which you can get incremental increase on your salary every 4 to 6 months. And it's up to you to negotiate and to defend yourself on how much worth you are to the company. And that way you can get the best KPI score or either renegotiation on your contract. Now, talking about renegotiation, you can actually renegotiate your contract if both parties agree and if you think if the workload is unfair on the teaching hour. Now, for example, let's just say your teaching hour is 20 and they're giving you 21 hours. It's up to you to renegotiate for a higher salary or get that overtime bonus. Now, in my opinion, it's better to get a higher salary, which means you can get an incremental increase every year instead of getting a one-time bonus and overtime work. Now, there are many other ways to increase your salary, and that is reducing your work hour or other workload. Again, money is time, right? So you can either negotiate for less office hour or perhaps getting a side bonus for the work that you've put in for your KPI or either your company in the first place. You can do this through training or either doing some admin work for the company to make their life a lot more easier. And you can get an exchange of getting less office hour or either getting more compensation or perhaps bonus at the very end. But yeah, I think that's all about it on how to increase your salary or better your work life. And if you have any other question, comment down below. I'll try to reply to you as soon as possible. And until next time, SoloQuest logging out. Peace.